guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're talking a little bit about building successful relationships. So let me tell you a little story. Most of my jobs from the jobs that I've been job hopping from the life update video that I told you about were sales and marketing jobs. And what we were required to do as sales specialists or business development specialists was we were meant, basically I worked with venues. I know some people do work with sales differently, but I worked with venues, and what we did is we sold our venues to across Africa, to corporates and to just individual people who either on getaways, conferencing events, like anything that had to do with an event outside of your home, I would be the person that you would talk to. And one of the things that I learned within the sales job was building successful relationships. Now, it's important for you to start building relationships, especially if you want to further get in business later in your life or whatever the case is. But what I had to do basically is I would attend meetings with this client's phone, and that would take a long time because sometimes people don't know you and they don't want to talk to you. I would have to speak to clients so often until I get the meeting. And surprisingly, once I get the meeting, the only talking we are doing during that meeting is about our personal lives and getting to know each other. Now, this is how I learned that trick. People by people. It's, for instance, if you have a job post that's open, I'd like to think that the first person you're going to refer is your friend because you already know that person, right? And there's a huge saying that says, it doesn't matter what you know, what matters is who you know. And that is important to start realizing that whatever you are doing, even if you are in the corporate world, building successful relationships is key. Like, nothing beats you actually building a proper successful relationship with your clients, with your prospects, whatever the case is. I did a video sometime last year and I was telling you guys how I was headhunted for another job that I eventually didn't even take. But this wasn't because I applied for it. It was a great job. Someone else heard about me from a contact and they referred me to that person. No, that doesn't make sense. That person, the person who owned the company, heard about me from someone else, and then they phoned me wanting to give me the post, right? I mean, that makes more sense. But now we're really going to get into the relationship building and how do you go about it. First of all, let's start talking about why it is important for you to start building relationships, right? It is important for you to start building relationships because, number one, you diversify your networks. For instance, if you were to start a business today, you would need somebody who would possibly help you with registration if you don't know how to. You would possibly need a friend who would be able to advise you over a friendly phone call to let you know about the strings and the things that you need to know about law. So you need a lawyer friend. You need somebody who directs you in the right direction when your business starts making money, about tax and everything. It's so important to have a circle of influence and a circle of people around you that you've networked with, that you know would be able to assist, especially with important things like a lawyer, a doctor, whatever the case is. Like I have a few friends that are within those professions that sometimes I do get free advice from them just by a call and checking them how they are. However, we said number one is we are diversifying your network. Number two, it gives you access to platforms that any other normal person would not have access to, right? If I am going to a top A-listing event, for example, right, I'm most likely to invite a friend of mine or somebody that I know is interested in this, that I have a relationship with, to that event because I know that person, I trust them, and there's a bit of credibility, right? Number three, it allows you to enter into doors that you wouldn't necessarily enter by yourself. Guys, I've been in meetings where just because I was with an influential person or a person that already has a great credit record I built a relationship with, I managed to get what I needed out of that meeting because of that person, because they trust that person and they think that person, or they believe that person is credible. Therefore, if I'm with them, I'm automatically credible, and that helps you. You can gain contracts from it, you can get new businesses, you can get new jobs. So creating successful relationship is the key to basically making it out of whatever that you need to do, right? Now, let's get into the how you actually do it. This is very tricky because sometimes when you are doing sales, they do teach you guys how to actually start building relationships, but sometimes it's so fabricated, it's so fake, and you don't get the results out of it. Number one, what I can definitely advise, if you're truly trying to build relationships in your corporate world, in your church, wherever it is that you are, you need to be intentional about knowing people. And that means that you literally need to take genuine interest about knowing people. If you're talking to somebody, ask them about themselves. Take genuine interest. How are you? How are you doing? Where do you live? What do you do? How does it feel to do what you do? You know, really be genuine about it, because there's something about asking the right questions but without the great intention that comes off quickly, where people are just like, listen, whatever, I don't have time for this. Especially if you're looking at influential people in position of power, whatever the case is. be completely intentional about building that relationship. And number 2 is add value, all right? A lot of people really just try to build relationships so they can get something out of it. So it's like, yeah, if I am that person's friend, I can get into this door. Don't think about it like that. Add value. See how you can help them, how you can also help them. For instance, I have a few mentors, and most of the times when I meet up with my mentors, I don't sit down and I'm like, give me the knowledge. I might not have knowledge to give right now, but I always open up my mind, and I even say to them, if there's anything I can always assist you with, like if you ever, need me to pick up your kids, if whatever you might need in a matter of emergency, or just for a short term, whatever the case is, I would be willing to help. What am I doing? I am bringing you value. When you're building success relationships, it could be in your marriage, in your relationship, whatever the case is, relationships are a two-way street. Okay, people actually you won't build successful relationships if you're only there to take. You need to be able to give. And every time you meet someone, you need to ask yourself, what can I actually give to this person? Sometimes it's hard because you come across people who look like they've got everything. You come across people who are filthy rich and whatever the case is, but you can always give something. You can always give your time. You can always give an ear, guys, when somebody just wants someone to talk to. And that's really one of the greatest lessons that I've learned in just building relationships, being intentional and showing value. Like, I sit with my mentors and I'm like, how are you? Like, tell me more about what's happening in your life right now. What am I doing? I'm adding value. I'm becoming your friend. I'm not only just becoming, oh, I know Michelle, but I'm letting you walk away and say, no, Michelle's my homie. Like, me and Michelle, cool, because I am getting to know you and I'm adding value. I think I've really stressed that point so much. Okay. Number 3, we said number 1 is be completely intentional about building relationships. Number 2, we said you have to be genuine. And number 3 is don't be intimidated. And I think I really just briefly chatted about it now when we're talking about this. Don't be intimidated by people, because sometimes we really want to create networks with people that are hierarchies and whatever. Don't be intimidated. And number 4, definitely be truthful to yourself. One thing that I've noticed about people building relationships is you build relationship with the intention to get where you want to be, and you're not truthful to those people about your situation in life. So you walk in a room with rich people, you walk in a room with people that have lots of money, and you then start pretending like you have lots of money. Do not put that much pressure on yourself. You be truthful about where you are in life and what you're about. This is mainly because if you're gonna have relationships, guys, relationships are so people can feed into you and you can feed into them. It is so difficult for people to feed into you when you walk around looking like you don't need anything. If you hear what I'm saying, you need to start building proper relationships where if you ever have an issue, people would assist. So for instance, if you walk in a room and you lie to people that you've got one of the most highest paying job, and you drive a car like this and whatever it is, and you fabricate that, or you build that relationship basically based on those lies, should an opportunity arise from those people, they're not going to think of you because you look like you have it together. But if you're honest with yourself and say, listen, this is what I do, and I would actually genuinely like to get into ABCD, but I haven't been able to because I didn't know the right people. You're not saying help me, you're just saying this is where I am, but how are you? Where are you? Should an opportunity rise, they will contact you first, they will speak to you first, mainly because you were truthful about it. And you're saying, listen, subconsciously you're saying, we are cool, but we're not the same level. And people genuinely appreciate that, because to be honest, guys, the people that we want to build relationships with have been there before. Like some people did not just wake up and become successful. If you literally took time to learn and listen and hear their stories and where they come from, you'd actually realize that these are normal people who have been where we are. And there's no need for us to fabricate those lies, because they ruin relationships. Be completely truthful about where you are. Be genuine, be nice, and stay away from gossip. Stay away from getting hearsays about what somebody else says about that person, because then that will literally cloud your judgment. Stay away from all of that and really just be genuine and get to know people from surface level. I've been in situations where I've gotten into a company and people are like, oh, stay away from that person is this, and yes, that person's crappy, but I'm not, but it's because they received according to how their relationship were. Some people, guys, are generally very crappy, but if you go to somebody and you genuinely just want to know them as an individual, as a person, irregardless of work, but just getting to know them, you can literally get the best out of people. And this doesn't mean that you get to know people that are completely successful. That is highly recommendable or highly recommended, but sometimes get to know people at surface level, people within your position, because guys, life is a will. You never know where this person is going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, a year from now. Like, life is just so unpredictable, but entirely start building the right relationships for you. for yourself. Now, I did give you an example earlier that when I did my sales job and I'd go into these meetings, funny enough is I'd book a meeting for 30 minutes and I would sit with a client for a whole hour. And I am literally talking to this client about their kids, what's going on, to a point where some start showing you pictures of their kids, videos of their children and whatever. And we've now built relationships. Now, mind you, I've spent an hour with this person, right? And let's say 45 minutes to 50 minutes of that time, we were literally just getting to know each other. Like, I was just asking them how they are, how long have they been working in the company, you know, what do they like doing here? And people open up and they tell you, know, I like my position, but I want to get promoted, whatever. And, you know, do they have any kids? And you're not asking questions because you're fishing. You're asking out of genuine interest and say, that is amazing. I see you married. Like, you really, and I really think I need to do a proper video of that engagement, like a role play engagement with someone else. So hopefully that's something I can also put in the books. But really be interested. It's like, you know, when you phone your friend and you're asking your friend questions, if you have the proper friends, you don't just be like, oh, so where are you? Do you have kids? Are you married? No. It's genuine interest. It's really just getting to know this person better. Where did they get married? How has it been? Oh my goodness. Can they show you a couple of pictures of the wedding? It must have looked beautiful. And you are being genuine. You are just appreciating that person for who they are. And number 5, I think, is number 5, is do not only want to get to know people that are like you. I say that for a reason, because people are so different. Sometimes we get so comfortable in just being around a circle of people that think like we do and that really just do things the way that we do them, and that is not the right way to go. I always advise people to build relationships with broader prospective people, right? You might be a creative, start building a relationship with somebody who's like narrow, an accountant or whatever the case is, to know their profession and just get to know them as a person. And one thing I've learned within building successful relationships is that you actually get to appreciate people for their individuality. And now to just elaborate more with the sales story, which I was doing, is I managed to make so much money for the companies that I've worked for doing sales, not because I was the greatest salesperson in the planet, or not because I knew how to close the deal. I just knew how to build relationships. That's it. Like, these people got to a point where to this day that I'm really trying to start my business, they are my friends. And it's so beneficial as well, because if you also plan on going into business later in your life, these are people, once you start, you can always contact and be like, listen, this is what I've decided to do. You know, if you know anybody, or the company does require A, B, C, D, let me know. What are you doing? You already have your first client base of people that you can actually advertise your business to. So for instance, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this in another video because it's necessary. But when I am now setting up and starting my business and just fixing everything, the first thing I did is I called most of the clients that were my clients at other venues and at other businesses, and I didn't call them as a client because now they're already my friends and I already have them on my cell phone, we're chatting. And obviously it's courteous to tell your clients when you're leaving a job to say, hi, I'm leaving, and people would normally ask, where are you going? What are you going to do? I'm like, no, I'm starting my own business. But because we're friends, this person already says, cool, send me details, send me what you do, let me see how I can assist. What have I done? I've built a relationship that's a lifetime relationship. And sometimes we don't have to go out together, we don't have to party together, we don't have to do lunches all the time. It's just being genuine and asking them, how can I help you? What can I do for you? And one of the tricks that I've also seen help is really appreciating people. So when I managed to build relationships with my clients, what I would do is I'd memorize their birthdays and their special days for their kids' birthday. It was a huge job. Their kids' birthday, their anniversaries with their partners, their husbands, their wives, whatever the case is. And whenever I got a reminder on my phone, I'd actually buy them a gift. Now, you have to understand this, right? A gift is not a bribe if it is done the right way. I'm not saying, oh, you gave me business and you gave me money, here is a gift. No, I'm saying, hey, it's your anniversary, here's your anniversary gift for you and your hubby. What have I done? I probably purchased a 2-night stay at a hotel, whatever it is, or I got a sponsor to help me with it, to advertise their venue and whatever, and give it to them. What am I doing? I am now building that relationship. So what you need to understand is, this client is going to go to this place with her husband, right? And she definitely has to tell her husband that, listen, Michelle gave it to me, and I've worked with Michelle, she works whatever. And after that, what then happens is, now the husband already knows what I do and where I am, and because I've already given them this gift, even if something had to come out from his side, he is most likely to give me business. And after giving me business, should I start a business, I automatically have become a conversation in their home, because once I've started their business, she's most likely to be like, hey babe, remember Michelle, the one that gave us that honeymoon thing, whatever. She started a business and this is what she's doing. What am I doing? I'm creating a network of people, and that has been a great deal of help as far as my career is concerned, getting into business and everything, because sometimes it's, if you've been in the corporate world, that's why a lot of people find it so difficult to then hop from corporate to starting a business, because number one, you don't have clients. Number two, you haven't really built enough relationships to actually start advertising. You're relying on your website, you're relying on your Facebook. But what is important is start where you are. If you've got this big plan of you wanting to start this amazing business, start prospecting, start talking to people. And you don't even have to say, oh, I want to start my own business in 10 years. No, or in 2 years, or in a year, in 3 months. Basically, just be nice, build relationships, because they are going to work for your good in the near future. I can definitely promise you that, because when you make the right friends, with people that know, look, Michelle's down for me. Like if I ever need help, Michelle would be able to, not friends that will call and ask you for money all the time, just friends that genuinely will say, Mish, I need your help. Can you kindly assist me with this? And when roles are switched, they would still be able to assist you. And just another thing, relationships are an investment, guys. So like the little example I told you guys about how I would gift my clients, what would happen is, let's say for instance, I spent about 3,000 to 4,000 Rand on that weekend getaway for them to go have dinner and whatever the case is, whatever I've gifted them. The value and the client or the business, the value of that relationship is going to be more than that. So you'd find that for some clients, I'd buy them a gift with 500 Rand just to say thank you, I appreciate you, or happy birthday. But this client is the same client that will give me business worth 500,000 Rand. Do you hear what I'm saying? It is an investment. So don't be afraid to pour in, because, and also pour in financially. This means that should a friend or a close network have financial problems, it's not going to be forever. If you are in the state to help, you help. If you are in the state to say, hey, listen, I mean, I had a client who loved blueberry muffins, and sometimes without even telling her, what I would do is I would go to I'd go to McD's and buy blueberry muffins and just pop in and say, listen, I literally thought of you. I was at McDonald's and I was having breakfast and I thought of you, here it is. And then we can catch up 5 minutes and leave. But what am I doing? I'm appreciating that person. I made an investment. I've spent money. I've spent, I don't even remember how much it is anymore. I spent like 25 Rand, 30 Rand, whatever. But when that client wants to have an event worth 150,000 Rand or 250,000 Rand or whatever, who are they going to call? Me. Now equate the 25 Rand I've spent, okay, versus the amount of money that the client is going to give me. Huge difference. So also look at relationships as an event and as an investment, because they are bound to bring the right fruits if you actually do them the right way. Basically, that's how I have managed to build a deal of relationships within the corporate world, within the couple of jobs that I had. And it has really helped me transition that into business now, because those are people I always call in, like I said, if I ever do need anything. So yeah, guys, go out there and start building the most amazing relationships. If you are working, start building relationships with your colleagues, with your boss. That's where promotions actually come from. Guys, that's where promotions actually come from, because I promise you, and I know this sounds wrong, but people can only uplift, promote people that they're close with, because people want to be part of a power circle. And if there isn't a power circle, they will automatically start creating one. And if you're part of a circle with somebody that wants to create a power circle, they will uplift you so that they can achieve the power circle that they want. And it is up to you to actually then, you know, take that on to the other people that are really trying to establish that relationship with you as well. So it's basically a world that you work around through. But I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that it has really inspired you to start creating and building successful relationships for now and for your future. Let me know if there's anything that you've done within this line. Let me know if you've built relationships before and how they've actually worked out for you. And I think it would be awesome for other people to actually be reading that and realizing how important it is, and you know, and also from a different perspective and how other people have done it before. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching this video. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.